Good morning. So I'll give you guys a couple of minutes to get on here, but I did finally run into a snag. We've had absolutely no snags, no problems, not a nothing until this point. And this morning there has officially been a snag, a big snag, a problemo, an issue. It's kind of a big deal, but I'm hoping that it will be okay. We can work around this. Hopefully everything will go back to being okay here in the next couple of hours. So, as you guys know, my husband was supposed to fly in this morning because my procedure is early tomorrow morning, and he has to be here obviously for it because we can't create babies without him. And I wake up this morning, his flight's supposed to be leaving at 6 o'clock. I woke up randomly at 4:30, and I went to go call him and find out, make sure that he was on his way to the airport and see where he was. And as soon as I clicked on his name, I got a text message from Southwest Airlines saying his flight had been canceled. Oh my gosh. So any time that you have a flight canceled, all of those people have to be rebooked, all of them. And there were not that many flights going from San Antonio to St. Louis today. So I'm tripping. They sent me a text message that said, if you need to rebook this flight or to request a refund, please call this phone number. So I called the phone number. Oh my gosh. The wait was like some crazy amount of time. It said, please, enter in your phone number and we'll give you a call back. You won't lose your place in line. And I'm like, yeah, but by the time that I'm done with this, all these people are already going to be rebooked and he's not going to get here on time. Like, what the hell are we going to do? Like, I'm about to tell him to start driving because this is not okay. He can't have a freaking canceled flight. Now, first of all, I've been flying Southwest since I can remember. I was probably 12 or something the first time I ever flew them by myself. And I love Southwest. I have a Southwest credit card. I love them, okay? I have never, ever in the history of my life, ever seen a Southwest flight canceled. I've seen them delayed. I've never seen them canceled. So I was like, okay, I got to figure something out. So I wrote the guy that helped us last week get on an earlier flight so we could get our lab work and stuff back in time. And I was like, are you at work? I need you to help me. His flight has been canceled. I don't know what I'm going to do. And he's like, I'll be at work in 10 minutes. So as soon as I got off the phone with him, I was like, I'm just going to go on the app and book the next flight, even if I just have to pay for it. And we'll see what to do. Well, I clicked on the change flight button and it said, your flight has been canceled. Please select a new flight at zero cost. I was like, thank you, God. So I was able to rebook him on the very next plane with one seat left. So I booked it. I called him. He was already almost at the airport, which is over an hour away from our house. So he was like bummed. So he had to turn around and go all the way back home. And he gets all the way back home, went back to sleep for a few minutes before waking up, and then, played Super Stepdad and got all my kids ready for school and everything. And so then he woke up and went back to the airport. Well, then I just checked in for his flight again. Guess what? Not the first leg of his flight, but the connecting flight keeps getting delayed. So I'm tripping. I'm like, I don't know what to do right now. Like, that flight better not get canceled too, because the other ones are full and I don't know what I'm going to do if that happens. Our procedure is first thing tomorrow morning. There's no way for him to get in on a flight tomorrow morning and be here in time. So he has to get here today. Like, there is not another option. So all the other flights are booked solid. I am hoping that his flight, the second leg of his flight, does not get canceled today, because that would be awful. I don't know if I can handle 2 freaking flights being canceled in the same day. The first one was nerve-wracking enough. Pissed me off. We had plans that we were going to hang out today and go see St. Louis a little bit to try to waste some time, because this is so nerve-wracking waiting for tomorrow morning. It's like the unknown. Waiting for the unknown is so hard. You're like, there's so many questions that I have, and I want to know how many eggs they're actually going to get. I want to know how many of those are going to be mature enough to fertilize. I want to know how many of those will actually fertilize. I want to know how many of those are going to make it to day 5 blastocysts. There's so many questions that go on in my head when it comes to this whole thing, because it's really so unknown. You just don't know until it's done. So I've read so many things on so many websites and gotten in so many groups, and I've tried to educate myself as much as possible, and I'm really fortunate to have a doctor who, like, literally, if I have any question at all whatsoever, I ask the man and he responds like right away. Boom, here's the answer. And I can ask him like off the wall random stuff, and he might take a little while to get back to me, but he always answers me, or he refers me to somewhere where I can get the information. So I love him for that. It's so nice having that hand holding. And he told me last night, which it made me laugh, but it's true. He was comparing me to a client he had a long time ago. He's like, yeah, you're just like her. You need to be fully invested and involved in every step of the process. And I'm like, that's me. Like, I'm going to be the weirdo. And I already told him, and he was cool about it. I'm going to be the weirdo that's showing up every day after these embryos are created. Like, hi, I'm here to see my children. Can you show me to the back? Thanks. Like, that's going to be me. Like, let me go look at my embryos in the freaking laboratory. I want to look at them and see if they're doubling in size. I want to see how many new cells we've got every day. I mean, it's like, I almost feel like it's going to the NICU. Like, I had a son that went to the NICU for 9 days. He was born on time. Everything was fine except for he swallowed fluid on the way out. And so he spent 9 days in the NICU, and it was like going to go visit him every day. You know, I was like sitting there by his side watching him. He couldn't do anything. He wasn't awake. He was, totally out of it and everything. Newborn baby hooked up to machines, but I was still sitting there watching him grow, making sure he's eating, all of those things. I'm sure that that will be me over the next few days. Once the embryos are created, going in there and being like, hey, so I'm here to see my babies. Can you show me to the lab? Thanks. When I told him that yesterday, he was like, I already knew you were going to be like that. He was like, I already told them, they're already prepared. It's fine. You can do it. Like, no problem. I'm like, yes. So if it's possible to see the embryos through the phone, I guess, the phone lens or whatever, I will see if I can like live and show you guys my embryos. I think that would be freaking badass for you guys to be able to see them. And then, obviously, like I'm just saying, like the unknowns, not knowing how many is actually going to come of this, not knowing how many of them are going to develop to the 5-day. My husband is calling me. I will get back on live in a few minutes. Don't miss it.